Just get me through the drops, through the drip drops.
So yeah, if you look like each of these sections is each drop is a separate piece of wood to begin with, and then they're all joined. And I do have it's called a floating tenon connecting each segment. It uses this tool over on the wall there, a domino. I don't know if you would
like a
have a reason to know that, but it's similar to like a dowel, but it's like shaped like a domino. That's why they call it that. So it's a cool tool. It makes this pocket on each side of the wood, and then you glue in the domino. So these joints are actually reinforced and pretty strong. Like I don't know, it looks a little fragile, like if you dropped it, it would break, but hopefully would.
Yeah. So which way is up? What are you thinking is going to be?
Actually, I've been wondering that. I had it all marked to begin with, like which one I thought, and I could go back to my pictures and figure out what my original thought was. But I'm honestly wondering, like, yeah, what should be up and what really also like front and back, like, because I'm thinking like it could either hang on the wall, which is like what I'm doing with this one, or I was also thinking it might be neat to like put a couple little, like put it on a stand and have this freestanding. Because I like being able to look through it. So like a sculpture. I was actually gonna ask, like, what do you think? Like, what would be more?
You know, I think I like the idea that you had. If you had like a way to like almost make it look invisibly standing, and you just had it like, I don't know, almost like on a piece of steel or rusty metal or something like that, where it was just sitting on a platform.
Yeah,
and it
I would
just
probably make like a black wooden just rectangle base.
Yeah, I think that
just like a couple little supports,
like on a big console table or just as a sculptural piece. I think it would stand a lot more.
Because if I
proud
projects like, these are just little objects in here. I thought you would just make like paperweights or something, but just more sort of proof of concept. But I have some ideas of like artwork to do with these. So
you could do. I mean, there's all sorts of like different dowel work and hanging and things like that. Small objects, great groups look so cool with.
Yeah. So this is another sort of avenue. I feel like. So I cut these on the table saw, and then like this one, I'm really proud. This one is basically perfect, if I should say so myself. Because there's no gaps around it, you know. The ones I put in my parents' table, I looked at the pictures and there's little gaps, but because of the stain that went on it, it's like I don't think anyone would really necessarily notice.
It's kind of a surgical procedure.
Necessarily notice except me. But yeah, what I do is I put double-sided tape on this, and then I stick it down with double-sided tape so it won't move at all, and then you trace the outline of it with a razor blade or some sort of marking knife. But with a knife, so that you're cutting the fibers of the wood, and then I use chisels to like pare back to like define that outline and pare back to it, and then I use a little comb router, this tool with a different bit, but like with a straight bit, to remove most of the material, like close to the line, and then I use my chisels, and I finish chiseling out the pockets, and then you sort of chamfer the edge of this and pound it in.
Yeah.
And so this one I'm really I can't really find any faults with this one.
And you always put these in at the cracks, right? Just to reinforce so it doesn't come.
Yeah, because that's like they have a functional purpose. Because like I put epoxy in these cracks. These were not necessary at all, really. But this is like a traditional way of doing it. So the way it works is the shape of the dovetail, or it's basically a dovetail on both sides. And then the grain is going this way on the bow tie, and so you put the grain perpendicular, so it basically makes it so that if the crack tries to open up and get bigger, it can't, because like the only way it would do that is if it could like literally pull this apart, which is impossible, or not impossible, but it would take a tremendous amount of force to do that. It's not going to happen.
So you're just creating a cross fiber lock, basically.
Yeah, so like the shape of it, it mechanically makes it so the crack can't get any bigger. And it's important that you get the grain direction going the right way, because if the grain was going this way, then this would be real weak and it would just.
I've seen them before where they'll be kind of like at odds.
Yeah, that's just
And
like
it's just for style.
aesthetic. Yeah, you can put
But
a however you
it's
want.
just
You can do
very
different
hard.
shapes too. It doesn't have to be. This is like a traditional shape. Here's another bigger one, but you can see that was this size.